What if I told you that most of the financial advice you've heard your entire life is actually designed to keep you exactly where you are? We're told to work hard, save what's left, and maybe if we're lucky we can retire at 65 and, finally, enjoy our lives. But the truth is, the game is rigged, and most of us aren't even playing by the right set of rules. My name is Zen, and I spend way too much time diving into the financial strategies and the physics of wealth that separate the rich from everyone else. Today, I'm breaking down 100 money tips that will actually change your life. We're going to cover everything from the brute force phase of building your first $100,000 to the buy, borrow, die strategy used by the ultra-wealthy. If you're tired of watching the world get richer while your bank account feels like a drunk snail, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Let's get into it. The physics of the start asterisk. Understand that your net worth is a description of your life, not just a score. It dictates whether a $900 car repair is a Tuesday or a crisis. Stop looking for hacks. Building wealth isn't a life hack. It's math. Recognize the push phase. The beginning of wealth building feels like pushing a 2-ton slab of granite up a mountain. Except that the first $100,000 is 80% brute force. Your investment returns are mathematically useless when your balance is small. You have to manually shovel cash into the machine. Don't quit during the invisible phase. Foundations are built underground. Nobody sees them or congratulates you for pouring the concrete. The first $100,000 is the hardest. It can take up to 8 years to hit that first $100,000. But the second $100,000 only takes about 5 years because the math changes sides. Identify your activation point. Once you cross $100,000, your money starts pulling its own weight. Stop trading hours. $4 as soon as possible. Financial independence begins when your assets generate more than your labor. Capture the free money. Your employer match is the only guaranteed 50% to 100% return on investment that exists. Avoid the exhale trap. Moving from a negative net worth to $2,800 in savings feels like safety, but it's just a temporary cushion. Stop your money from sitting in a chair. If your cash is in a 0.5% savings account, while inflation is at 3%, inflation is picking your pockets. The physics of momentum. Once the boulder starts rolling downhill, your job is just to not get run over, meaning don't sabotage the growth. Don't reset the snowball. Pulling $20,000 out of a $60,000 account doesn't just cost you $20,000, it costs you the exponential growth of that money over the next 20 years. Live like you're broke for just 3 more years. If you're at $700,000 and keep pushing, you'll hit $1 million in under 4 years. If you inflate your lifestyle now, you'll add a decade to the finish line. Focus on the crossover point. This is when your portfolio earns more in a year than you can save from your job. The wealth destroyers transportation, asterisk cars, are wealth destroyers, not wealth builders. Follow the 2410 rule. Put 20% down, finance, for no more than 4 years. And keep total costs under 10% of your monthly income. Or try the more conservative 238 rule. 20% down, 3 years of financing, and 8% of your gross income. If you can't pay it off in 3 years, you're buying too much car. Factor in the hidden cost. Depreciation. New cars lose an average of 23.5% of their value in the first year alone. Stop financing losses. When you buy a new car, you're essentially paying the bank for the privilege of watching your asset lose value. The $50,000 salary rule. You can afford a $6,000 to $8,000 car, reliable transportation, not a nice car. The $100,000 salary rule. Your budget is $22,000 to $25,000. Avoid the luxury trap, where you think a 6-figure salary means you need a BMW, drive a Beta. A reliable car with faded paint is a secret weapon for building wealth. Prioritize transportation value over status value. Wealthy people ask if the car gets them from A to B for the lowest cost. Poor people ask what the car says about them. Invest the car payment. Investing a $450 monthly payment instead of sending it to a bank can result in $42,000 in 6 years. Older cars are often simpler. Simple technology means they are easier and cheaper to diagnose and repair without proprietary tools. Insurance savings are massive. If you own your Beta outright, you can carry liability-only insurance, saving hundreds annually. Avoid the dealer math. Salespeople focus on the monthly payment to hide the total cost. Beware of the 7-year loan. Stretching a loan to 7 years is financial torture that ensures you are underwater for years. The disciplined mind, the Chinese rule. Asterisk. Adopt the 10-to-1 rule. Aim to spend only 1 unit of currency for every 10 you earn. Aim high to land high, even if you fail at a 90% savings rate. Hitting 50% or 60% puts you light years ahead of the average person. Use zero-based budgeting. Assign every single dollar a job before the month begins. Pay your savings first. Treat your savings as your most important bill that must be paid before rent or groceries. Kill lifestyle inflation. When you get a raise, allocate the extra money to savings before you get used to spending it. Surgically distinguish between needs and wants. You need a smartphone. You don't need a titanium frame and a pro camera system. Evaluate the cost per use. Only splurge on things that provide exceptional long-term durability. Embrace cash-only thinking. If you can't pay cash for a want, the default assumption should be that you can't afford it. View debt with suspicion. Financing a vacation or a car is borrowing against your future income and adding interest stress. Education is the ultimate investment. Treat education spending as a calculated ROI that compounds over a lifetime. Patience is a virtue. Delayed gratification allows you to avoid the impulse purchases that drain savings accounts. Eliminate decision fatigue. Create systems. Shop at the same stores. Buy the same brands to save your willpower for big decisions. Social pressure can be a tool. In some cultures, being a smart saver carries more social weight than showing off luxury goods. Find joy in simple pleasures. Happiness shouldn't require a restaurant bill. Walking in a park or hosting a dinner at home builds resilience. Total financial transparency. Within a family, everyone should know where every penny goes to ensure collective goals are met. Record transactions to the cent. This eliminates the mystery of where the money went at the end of the month. Make saving a game. Frame it as winning against the system rather than suffering through deprivation. Control your money so it doesn't control you. True freedom comes from intentionality. Don't ignore the $400 emergency. 37% of adults can't cover it. Your first goal is ensuring you aren't in that group. Watch the DoorDash habit. Lukewarm food delivery can quietly cost you thousands a year in fees and tips. The buy, borrow, die strategy. Asterisk. The wealthy don't earn traditional income. They focus on purchasing appreciating assets that don't produce immediate taxable events. Buy assets that grow quietly. Think growth stocks, real estate, and private company shares. Never sell. As long as you don't sell, the IRS can't touch your gains. Borrow against your wealth. Use your portfolio as collateral for a securities-based line of credit. The government doesn't tax borrowed money. $1 million loan flows into your account tax-free. Arbitrage the interest rates. If your portfolio earns 8% and your loan costs 6%, you are netting a profit while living off debt. Lenders love wealthy borrowers. The larger your portfolio, the lower the interest rate you can negotiate. Avoid capital gains taxes. Selling assets. 2 live triggers. A 20 to 25% tax hit. Borrowing costs much less annually. Understand. Stepped-up basis. When you die, your heirs inherit assets at their current market value, not the original price paid. Decades of appreciation can vanish for taxes. Purposes. Heirs can sell inherited assets to pay off loans and owe zero in capital gains. Wealth rewards being richer. The system facilitates tax avoidance for those with at least $1 million in investable assets. Use financial camouflage. Driving an older car makes you invisible to thieves and people looking to exploit your wealth. Scarcity drives prices because the ultra-wealthy never sell their shares. It creates upward pressure on valuations. Tax rates are often irrelevant to the rich. You can raise capital gains taxes to 90%, and it won't affect someone who never sells. Opt out of the standard tax system. Use the rules exactly as they were designed for wealth preservation, not just income. Navigating the net worth levels. Asterisk level. 1. Stop the bleeding. If you have a negative net worth, the system is charging you for being broke, overdraft fees, high APR. Avoid payday loans. They aren't a product. They are a 400% APR subscription service you didn't mean to sign up for. Level 3, 10K, 50K. Start the engine. This is where you open the brokerage account and capture the match. Level 4, 50K, 100K. Beware the squeeze. This is where people get trapped by a mortgage and a car payment that eat 30% of their net worth. Home maintenance is real. Budget roughly 1% of your home's value annually for maintenance. The house doesn't care if it's in your budget or not. Level 5, 100K to 50K. The hardest part is almost over. This phase represents 25% of the time journey to $1 million, but only 10% of the money. Beware of sophisticated traps. Don't let someone charge you high fees for nuanced investments. Index funds beat 90% of hedge funds. Level 6, 250K, 500K. The golden handcuffs. Don't let your lifestyle require too high salaries just to stay afloat. The 4% rule. $340,000 only. Generates $13,600 a year. That's not retirement. It's a part-time job income without the job. Asterisk. Level 7, 500K, 1M. The snowball is visible. At this level, your portfolio earns enough to cover your basic bills, groceries, utilities. Home equity is not an investment strategy. It's an illiquid, undiversified position in one zip code. Feed your brokerage account instead. Level 8, 1M3M. The millionaire disappointment. Crossing $1 million won't feel like magic. You'll still have to make your own coffee. Millionaires drive boring cars. The most common millionaire cars are Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. Performance versus building. 86% of people driving luxury cars are not millionaires. They are just performing wealth. Consistency beats genius. The most common millionaire professions are teachers, engineers, and accountants, people who invested boringly for a long time. Watch out for hedonic adaptation. The goalpost will always move. $1M feels like enough until you have it. Then you'll want $3 million. Level 9, 3M, 10M. Actual freedom. This is when work becomes truly, structurally optional. Level 10, $10 million plus. The mindset transfer. 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation because they didn't transfer the philosophy of wealth. Don't just protect the money. Protect the mindset. Wealth without understanding is temporary. The gap starts small. The difference between a wealthy 67-year-old and a broke one is 100 small decisions made over 4 decades. The final boss: psychology and longevity. Asterisk. The portfolio doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about time and contributions. Don't break the seal. Once you start treating your investment vault as a checking account, you've sabotaged your future. Discipline without vision is just masochism. Know what you are saving for. The final boss isn't math. It's identity. Many people can't retire because they don't know who they are without their job. A portfolio can't fix an empty life. You can have $10 million and still feel empty if you have no purpose. Automate everything. Your future self is not more disciplined than your present self. Make the decision once and let the machine run. Ignore the noise. You don't need to be smart or time the market. You just need to be patient enough to survive the boring part. Understand opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on a car payment is a dollar that isn't growing for the next 30 years. Warren Buffett drove the same car for decades. Tools are for transportation, not status. Image is a rationalization. A 3-year-old luxury car projects the same image as a new one, but at half the cost. If you aren't wealthy, don't act like it. Wasting money to look rich will keep you from ever being rich. The math is relentless. If you follow the rules, the outcome is inevitable. Money shouldn't be the main character. The goal is to build a life you don't want to escape from. Don't stop pushing. The only rule during the push phase is, don't stop. Find your level and move. Use the tools available to you, sidestep the traps, and start building. Look, the road to wealth isn't complicated, but it is hard. It requires you to say no to the things the world tells you that you deserve, so that you can eventually have the things the world can't take away, whether you're at level 1 or level 7. The strategy is the same. Automate, contribute, and stay patient. If you want to dive deeper into how to navigate these specific levels, or avoid these traps, I've put together a community where we talk about this every single day. The link is in the bio. My name is Zen. Stop performing wealth, start building it, and I'll see you in the next one. ****